And good morning, Your Honor. This is the court interpreter, Fezlo Davis. I see there's one person about halfway down the list. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, the first three that are on the list, they haven't showed up yet. If we can just start on the misdemeanors.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Antonio?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Antonio Benavides. Most people call me Tony.
Okay, thank you. One moment. Mr. Benavides, you're charged with trespassing and with disorderly conduct.
Is the trespassing a third degree?
Trespassing, class 2
Yes.
misdemeanor. I'm gonna
What
order
degree is it?
Sir, quiet, please. Let me talk. You are not to return to any Circle K store. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims, and you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. I am going to release you with these conditions, and your court date at Ajo Justice Court is November 4th at 9 a.m. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
James? Yeah, there should be no.
Hello.
Good morning, your
What's your name?
James Larry Kenyon II.
Okay, one moment. Mr. Kenyon, you are charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence threats and intimidation. I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with Jenny Kenyon. Stay away from her home and workplace. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. Do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. Attorney Peter Gutierrez is appointed to represent you. You will be seen tomorrow at 1 p.m. on video. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello, what's your name?
Charles Martella.
Mr. Martella, you're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You are released from custody, and your next court date at Oro Valley City Court is December 3rd at 10:30 a.m. You're excused, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Have a good day.
Adrian?
Okay. Hello, what's your name?
Adrian Miguel Venegas.
All right, sir, you are charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. Do not return to the location of the alleged incident. That is true even if the victim consents. No return. I'm releasing you with those conditions. Your court date is November 12th at 10:30, Pima County Justice Court.
Sir, can I say something?
I would not advise you to do so. If you,
Well, I live with that's my spouse. I'm my father. I stay home dad of three. I live with her.
if that is the case, you get a one-time return visit with a police escort to gather your things. You can
Okay.
have other kinds of contact with her, fine, but don't go back and live there unless your assigned judge lifts this order. You're excused.
Wickwire.
Hello, what's your name?
Heather Lee Wickwire.
Okay. You're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage. Um, I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. I'm going to release you with that condition. Your court date at Green Valley Justice Court is November 6th at 8:30. You're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wilson. Yeah. Go back out there and see what you can do. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What's your name?
Stephen Michael Wilson.
Okay. One moment, please. You're charged with domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. You're to have no contact of any kind with Janice Wilson or Michael Wilson. Stay away from their home and workplaces. I am going to release you from custody with these conditions. And your court date at Oro Valley City Court is December 3rd at 10:30 a.m. Did you reside there, by the way?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
You get a one-time return visit with a law enforcement officer to get your belongings. You're excused.
Okay, thank you. Can I do that anytime, pretty much?
You have to arrange it. You have to arrange it with the local police. Okay?
Okay, okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Frederickson. We're gonna go back up.
Hello, what's your name?
Gina Frederickson.
It's Frederickson. You have an arrest warrant on numerous cases at Tucson City Court. You failed to appear in court on October 6th, which is why a warrant was issued for your arrest. I'm going to reappoint the city public defender to represent you. All your previous conditions of release remain in effect. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Video review is scheduled for November 7th at 1:45 at Tucson City Court. If you bond out before then, December 2nd, 9 o'clock in person. You're excused.
Oh, the reason I missed court was because I was in the hospital.
Okay. That's something you can address with your attorney. Someone from the public defender will be out to see you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Terry. Commissioner.
Hello, what's your name?
I am Carrie Hincher.
Okay. Okay, you're charged with domestic violence assault with injury. We're going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You're released on that condition. And December 2nd, 1:30 p.m. is your court date with Tucson City Court. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Azaret Romo.
You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence assault with injury, domestic violence criminal damage, and domestic violence criminal trespass. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. Do not have contact of any kind with Ramon Torres Espinoza. That's even with his consent. No contact. Do not return to his home or workplace. And let me double check something. No. Your court date at Tucson City Court is December 2nd at 1:30 p.m. You're excused.
Yep.
Yep, there is.
Thank you.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay.
Hello, what is your name?
My name is Scott Edward Gorman.
Roman. Oh, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a racing / exhibition of speed tickets.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond is set. The bond on this warrant is listed at $1,000.
Your Honor, if I may say something,
You might say something that might incriminate you.
I'm not gonna say anything that'll incriminate me. My phone was taken. It was lost, broken, and I did not know that I had court that Friday. I thought it was this coming Friday, and that's why I missed that court date. I know that I know what my sentence is. I was told what my sentence is on that. If I could get OR'd on that, I'd greatly appreciate it.
What's your phone got to do with it?
My phone was how my lawyer got a hold of me and how everybody got a hold of me to let me know that I had court and how I could check that court.
Judge, does the court record reflect a NCIC warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for Mr. Gorman as well?
Pima County Justice Court, racing. This is the only thing I have.
Yeah, so one of these three.
Is there another hold on this gentleman?
There should be, Judge. And let me pull up the case number.
Okay.
It's supposed to be someone.
Here.
As long as the justice is there.
Oh, you got a no bond Superior Court hold. I see it.
Yes.
So we'll note felony hold.
Can I mention something on that?
No,
Yeah.
no, sir. No, sir. You have a lawyer. Talk to your lawyer about it. Okay? I'm going to release you on the racing charge. I will note that you are being held on the felony. Your court date at Pima County Justice Court on the misdemeanor is November 24th at 1:30. If you are still in custody, obviously that date will change. They'll be aware of it at Justice Court. You're excused.
Oh, you're fine. Okay.
Hello, what's your name?
Betsy Varela.
Okay, Ms. Varela, you're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You're released, and your court dated Oro Valley City Court is December 3rd at 10:30. You're excused.
Thank you. Have
You're welcome.
a great day.
You as well.
Thank you.
Hello, what is your name, sir?
Hola, ¿cómo se llama usted? Your Honor, this case was tracking the Spanish-speaking matter. Does Mr. Tarazon need an interpreter?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Bogart Tarazón.
Bogart Tarazon.
All right, thank you.
Gracias.
Okay. Is Bogart part of your name?
Yeah.
Bogart forma parte de su nombre.
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir,
Bien.
you are on probation for a driving under the influence case. There is a petition to revoke your probation, alleging that there is reasonable cause to believe the conditions of probation have been violated and that you failed to show proofs and failed to appear at a review hearing.
Señor, está usted castigado con libertad condicional por acusaciones de conductor bajo la influencia y dicen que existe una petición para cancelarle su libertad condicional por presentarse buenos motivos por pensar que usted no ha cumplido con las condiciones de no presentarse y no comparecer con las condiciones que se le hayan impuesto.
A mí nunca me dieron
Espere.
probation, me dieron clases nomás y yo las terminé. Eso hace como
I
2
never
años y
received
medio.
probation. I was given classes to attend and I completed those. That was about 2.5 years ago.
Apparently, sir, you did not complete the classes
Sí las terminé.
or the screen.
And I completed those. That was about 2.5 years ago.
Apparently, sir, you did not complete the classes
Sí las terminé.
or the screening.
Aparentemente no cumplió con las clases.
Las terminé, yo les mandé los papeles y yo fui a las 2 partes que me dijeron que fueras de este y luego me dijeron que tenía que tener la aseguranza 22, algo de donde yo terminé todas las clases que me mandaron, pero nunca me pusieron probation. Nada, y
So I did
ahorita no.
complete those classes. Espere. I did complete those classes. I went to the places that I was told to go to. I presented the paperwork and submitted that. I went to a couple of places for testing, but I was never given probation.
Okay, yeah, you were on 12 months of unsupervised probation, sir. Did you complete the MAT Victim Impact Panel program?
Yes.
Espere, señor. Veo que sí estaba usted castigado con libertad condicional sin supervisión. Pero ¿acaso cumplió
And you
usted
got-
con el requisito
Sí.
de clases de madres contra
Sí,
conductores ebrios?
Sí, terminé esa
Yes,
clase
I did.
y
Yes, I did.
fui a dos
Espere.
clases.
Okay,
I went to 2 different classes.
all right. You've got to show proof that you went, sir. You never showed the proof. You showed some proof,
Tiene
but
usted
not
que
all of
presentar
it.
comprobante de eso.
Pero que
Pero
ellos no
nunca lo
tienen que
presentó.
mandarlos por fax, ellos.
Well, aren't they supposed to send the proof by fax? They themselves?
They should, but it doesn't always happen. And you were
Sí
sent
deberían
notice,
hacerlo. No siempre lo hacen.
and you were sent notice
Eso es
to appear in court on September 29th, and you did not do so. That's why you have a warrant
También,
on this petition.
Pero yo no vivo en donde vivía antes. Ahorita ando bajo fianza en nuevos cargos, ando bajo fianza de $25,000. Pero yo terminé lo que a mí me pidió el juez, yo lo terminé y a mí nunca me dijeron que me iban a poner probation, nada de eso. Eso hace como 2
but I'm not
clases.
living where I used to live. Right now, I'm currently out on bond for a matter that involves felony charges. But I was never given probation. I was never told to do anything other than that.
Y duré 46 días encerrado hasta que salí bajo fianza. Ahorita ando enfianzado.
All right.
So I was in custody for 46 days until I posted bond on the new matter.
Okay, sir. You can stop talking now. I am going to
Puede dejar de hablar.
I'm going to indicate that you deny the allegations. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you, or are you going to represent yourself as you did before?
Señor, voy a
soy abogado.
indicar que usted está negando lo que se dice aquí. ¿Quiere que le designe un abogado de oficio o va a
Sí.
representarse a sí mismo con lo mismo anteriormente?
Sí. Entonces me van a dejar aquí adentro encerrado.
Yes, I would like an attorney. So in the time being, will I remain locked up?
No.
No.
I'm going to
Gracias.
appoint the city public defender to represent you.
Voy a asignar al abogado de oficio del juzgado municipal para que lo represente.
Ok, dígale, oiga, que yo el lunes voy a ir temprano, con favor de Dios, y no voy a ir a trabajar y voy a ir a agarrarlos a las 2 partes que fui y hice las clases para yo traérselas personalmente aquí a la corte.
So, Your Honor, come Monday, God willing, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the 2 places that I went for those classes, get the paperwork, and personally take them to court.
Okay, that's fine. However, you need to let me talk and be quiet, okay?
Señor,
The city public defender,
perfectamente bien. Pero tiene que silencio y dejarme a mí hablar. Espere.
the city public defender is located in room 601. I'm going to write their phone number on your paperwork. What is that?
El defensor público está localizado en el 6º piso del juzgado municipal, la sala 601. Voy a anotar el número de ellos en el papel que le van a dar a terminar aquí.
Contact them and also follow through with what you said you were going to do. You can present the proof to the public defender, and we're going to give you a court date to appear in court. That'll be December 1st.
Entonces, comuníquese usted con el defensor público, haga lo que dice que va a hacer, puede presentarle el comprobante a ellos y vamos a programar una fecha a continuación. Será para el día 1 de diciembre. Ahorita le da la hora, espere.
At 10 o'clock.
Será a las 10 de la mañana.
As long as
Okay.
that'll be with Judge Hale. As long as she gets the proof before then, she may well vacate that court date. That's up to her, though. Okay? But you-
Ahora, esto estará
you
ante
are
la juez
released.
Hale. Si usted presenta comprobante antes de entonces, posiblemente se cancela la cita que le acabo de presentar ahorita. Es todo por hoy, puede retirarse.
Okay,
Gracias.
have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Any more Spanish speakers?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're really. Okay, thank you. Okay, Melanie, do I stand up? On the bed. Okay. It's still work on my own. This one phone.
Judge, I don't know if you were told, but Noah Hove Day, House felony, refused.
Okay, that's number. Oh, we took care of that. Already. Okay, yes.
So I'm gonna post the next one up. I'm gonna do. You got another one there? Yes.
Hello, what's your name?
Samuel Guidre.
You're charged with 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and 1 count of resisting arrest, passive resistance. Let me review this for a moment here. Oh, it's no report. I am going to order that you have no contact or don't initiate contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. You are released from custody with those conditions, and your court date at Tucson City Court is December 19th at 9:00 a.m. You had a court date for November 17th. You can ignore that. That's been vacated. December 19th, 9:00, you're released. Wait a minute. No, you have a felony hold. You are released on the misdemeanor, but you're still going to be held on the felony. So this is going to be what's called a non-transport review. The city public defender will be appointed and represent you in court. You are not going to be transported to the court date, though. Someone from the city public defender should be out at the jail to talk to you. All right, you're excused.
All right, thank you.
A second.
Hello, what is your name?
Joshua Madrid.
Okay. Mr. Madrid, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court. The charges listed are sale of a narcotic drug, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of a narcotic drug. The bond Amount listed on this warrant is $10,000. That is what the county attorney is requesting as well. And you are on probation. Apparently contact your probation officer first working day following release from custody. And do not return to the incident location, no alcohol or drugs. We'll hear from the public defender in regard to the bond request.
Judge, we're asking for a lower bond than the 10,000. He is in custody serving a jail sentence. He was sentenced on his felony matters to probation, but in custody until bed space is made available, and that can take up to 60 days, and oftentimes it does. So he's going to be here for a lot of that time. Even if he bonded out, he couldn't get out. So we're asking for a much lower bond than that. He will be on probation once released.
All right. We'll hear from the state.
Judge, the state has nothing further to add.
Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. November 7th, 1:30 is your next court date, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Amador Perez.
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
Hello, what's your name?
Carlos Amador Perez.
Mr. Perez, you're charged with being a prohibited possessor of a firearm. The state's asking for $2,500 bond. I am going to order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons. And we will hear from the public defender.
Judge, we are asking you to release him to pretrial services. This is considered a nonviolent offense. He has verified housing, employment, and support with his brother. He does have priors, but none of them are violent, and the last one is from 2021. He also does not have an active NVCA flag and is scoring on the middle on both NCA and FTA scales. So we believe that pretrial services is appropriate.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Judge, the state has nothing further to add besides what's in the state's recommendation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $500. November 12th, 1:30 is your court date, and the public defender is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
Bond. Let's go back now. You're next.
Oh, sir.
Hello, what's your name?
Alpha Bomba Jr.
You're charged with aggravated driving under the influence. I'm going to order that you not possess any not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and don't drive without a valid license. And I note here that you are on probation on a misdemeanor DUI. The state is asking for a $10,000. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking you consider a very nominal bond here. I understand he was on misdemeanor probation for a DUI. However, he is housing with his mother and he works part-time as a server at a restaurant and only makes about $2,000 per month. And he does not have any felony priors and no active NVCA flag. So if you're considering a bond, we are asking for something much lower than the 10,000.
All right, thank you. Any more from the state?
Judge, we simply just want to highlight the dangerousness of what happened here. Mr. Bamba was on probation for a DUI. He was aware that he was being supposed to be on, for lack of a better term, is on his best behavior, and he committed another DUI offense, and this time driving into oncoming traffic. Or at least at the very least, Judge, driving the wrong way on the wrong way in the road. So the state's recommending the $10,000 bond. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to set bond in the amount of 500. November 12th is your court date, and the public defender is appointed. And that's it. You're excused.
Del Savio, you could go back. So, sorry.
Hello, what is your name?
Él es Renato Delgadillo.
DELGADILLO?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You are charged with domestic violence, aggravated harassment. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to possess any firearms or ammunition, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Melissa Silva, and stay away from her home and workplace. I believe there's someone on this call that wishes to speak. Identify yourself, and you may comment on the conditions of release. Is the person still there? Okay. You need to unmute then. I'm sorry? *6 to unmute.
Hello?
There you go.
Okay.
Good morning. Who are you?
Good morning. My name is Melissa Silva, and I'm the victim in this case.
Okay. You may go ahead and make a statement in regarding to conditions of release.
Okay. I am going to ask that he is held based on his history of escalation. Sorry, I'm so nervous. And retaliation. This has been an ongoing issue of harassment, progressively getting worse over the past year since I filed for divorce and got an order of protection against him. And he has, up to this point, disregarded all of the orders the judges have given regarding our contact with one another, and also doing such behaviors in front of our children, which 2 of the 3 were present for this incident. He seems to disregard every other alternative consequence that's been given to him through less minor routes including being sanctioned by the judge, but he still continued to do the behaviors. So I'm asking that the court holds him, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
The state's recommendation, which I will honor, is $2,500 bond.
Judge, I'd like to be heard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. So I understand the victim's position. However, this is the first felony or misdemeanor offense that he's been. I can't see his arrest record, but this is the first one that's on his record, either felony or misdemeanor. They do not reside together. He has an address with his parents. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. This is considered a nonviolent offense. And so given all those factors and the fact that the conduct that the victim's mentioning, it's not charged. So I don't know how fair it is to consider that. We'd be asking for release to pretrial or a much lower bond than the $2,500.
Can I speak to that, Your Honor?
You may.
Just because there weren't charges brought, I have contacted and called 911 numerous times over the past year, including while on my daughter's 5th grade field trip from the school bus as he tried to keep my other children from my parents outside of his time. He has done everything against both judges in our cases regarding divorce matters as well as order of protection matters. I have filed dozens of police reports, and I just finally happened to get a law enforcement officer from TPD who cared enough to come and have a conversation about what has happened. And that officer even apologized for the negligence that this has been going on for so long, openly harassing me. I have evidence to support it all. And he does it with zero disregard, knowing he's on camera. He'll look at me and do it intentionally, like, what the fuck are you gonna do type body language, throwing his arms up and yelling in front of the kids. And it's been okay because up to this point, there has been no true consequence. And our court dates just keep getting pushed and pushed because he is non-compliant and combative with everything, costing thousands and thousands of dollars that neither of us really have to do something like this. And he clearly is having a problem. And it's not safe to let him continue on with zero accountability being had, because he's shown us over the past year that he will push and push and push and escalate and do whatever he feels like doing because he knows nothing will happen. He's been invincible. And the other day was just a tipping point because he could have grabbed me if he wanted. He was shoulder to shoulder with me, standing in the middle of the sidewalk on a day he wasn't even to be in my neighborhood.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
So no, I'm going to disagree. You're welcome, and thank you.
Bond is set in the amount of $2,500. One of the things I'm considering is that even though it's not charged as such, it indicates a violation of an order of protection. Court date is November 12th at 1:30, and the public defender is appointed to the case. Your excuse, sir.
will he be held? I'm not sure what that meant.
If he posts the bond, he will get out. If he does not post the bond, he will remain in custody on the bond.
Okay, thank you.
Well, hello, what is your name?
Carla Graciela Garcia.
Ms. Garcia, you're charged with aggravated driving under the influence. I'm going to order no alcohol or drugs, don't drive without a valid license. I see you are on, you have a probation hold. And the state is recommending a $5,000 bond. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, she does have verified housing, employment, support with her mom. It looks like the misdemeanor priors from 2021. I know there's a hold, but we'd ask you to consider a lower bond despite that.
Anything from the state?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
$2,500 bond, November 12th, 1:30, public defender appointed. You're excused.
Daniel?
Hello.
Hello, sir, what's your name?
Daniel Eisenson.
You are charged with unlawful discharge of a firearm, misconduct involving weapons as a prohibited possessor. The state is recommending a bond of $2,500. At a minimum, I'm going to order no firearms or other weapons, do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And we'll hear from defense counsel as to the bond request.
Judge, we're asking you release him on pretrial services. It looks like he does have housing and employment. He makes about $60,000 a year. He lives in the house that belongs to his grandmother, so she's got consistent access to it. He only has one felony prior, and it's from 2002, and it's nonviolent for possession, personal possession. No active NVCA flag, and this is considered a nonviolent offense. So we'd ask you release him to pretrial services.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Judge, we simply want to highlight the danger to the community that was that occurred in this case. The allegations are that the defendant fired his firearm in a suburban neighborhood. That's all, Judge.
Bond is set in the amount of $2,500, November 12th, 1:30, public defender appointed. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Matang.
Is that your entire name?
Matang. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Let's see. You are charged with misconduct involving weapons. will order no firearms or illegal drugs. And the state's asking for a $700 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking you to release him to pretrial. He doesn't have any felony or misdemeanor priors. He claims to have housing and employment. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. He's a one on both the scales. This is considered a non-violent offense. So we believe that pretrial services is appropriate here.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
I'm going to release you the supervision of pretrial services. Cooperate with them. And your next court date is November 21st at 1:30. Public defender appointed. You're excused.
Morales?
Hello, what's your name?
Isabel Morales.
You are charged with criminal damage, endangerment, driving under the influence. Driving under the influence, having an alcohol content of 0.08 or more within 2 hours of driving, and also 0.15 or more within 2 hours of driving, also known as extreme DUI. The state is requesting a bond of $25,000. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we're asking for a much lower bond in this matter. She does not have any felony or misdemeanor priors. She also does not have an active NVCA flag. She does live with her dad. She is employed at Subway, but makes less than $2,000 a month. And she's scoring very low on both of the scales. So we'd be asking for something much lower than the $25,000, considering all those circumstances.
We'll hear from the state.
Judge, we simply want the court to consider the danger to the community in this case. We're very fortunate that Ms. Morales and nobody else in the community was seriously injured in this incident. There's a substantial amount of the amount of damage done to the business in this case is substantial. It's estimated to be right now at around $250,000. She exhibited a very high BAC and per the report, multiple bar employees were placed in danger of serious injury. One employee appeared to avoid injury by a matter of feet. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. November 12th, 1:30 is your court date. The public defender is appointed. You're excused.
David?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Devin Paget.
You have both felony and misdemeanor cases. The felony charges are possession of a narcotic drug, possession of paraphernalia, and evidence tampering. The state's recommending $2,000 bond. I am going to order no alcohol or drugs. Don't drive without a valid driver's license. And we'll hear from the defense in regard to the bond request.
Thank you, Judge. We are asking you to release him to pretrial services. He does not have any felony priors. He also does not have an active NVCA flag. He's scoring 2 on both of the scales. He lives alone and has full-time employment where he makes commission. He's only a level 1 on the pretrial services matrix, and this is considered a nonviolent offense, so we're asking you to release him to pretrial.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Nothing further to add, Judge. Thank you.
I'm releasing you the supervision of pretrial services. Cooperate with them. Your next court date is November 21st at 1:30, and the county public defender is appointed to represent you. Your misdemeanor case is in Tucson City Court. You're charged with driving under the influence, and there are several civil violations, alleged violations as well. Improper position, right turn, excessive speed. Actually, that's a criminal speeding charge. Failure to drive to the right for an emergency vehicle, and failure to provide proof of insurance. On the misdemeanor case, we're going to order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't drive without a valid driver's license. And let's see here. I'm going to release you from custody. Your court date at Tucson City Court will be December 1st at 9:30 a.m. This is a mandatory jail case if you are found guilty. I'm not going to appoint the public defender at this time because I don't know anything about your financial situation, but you can apply for an attorney at your pretrial conference. You're excused. Hello, what's your name, sir?
It's best described.
Okay, sir, go ahead and see you.
Enrique D. Seelig.
Okay. You're charged.
Enrique Dahlman Seelig.
You're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and prohibited possessor. In order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, as well as no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't have contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the incident location. The state is requesting a $150,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Judge, I'd like to be heard on probable cause for the prohibited possessor charge.
Go ahead.
So I'm not sure what they're referring to for the prohibited possessor charge because there was no guns found in Mr. Seelig's apartment and no other prohibited weapons. So I don't believe there's probable cause for that charge.
We'll hear from the state.
So, Judge, the recovery of a physical gun is not required for a prohibited possessor charge. We do have surveillance footage that does reflect that Mr. Seelig was holding a shotgun, which this is supported by the statement of the victim, who also stated that that Mr. Seelig pointed a shotgun at him when the police served a search warrant on the house and the car. So I'm not sure what explains the absence of a shotgun in the house, but it was supported by both the victim's statements as well as the surveillance footage in this case.
All right. Thank you. The motion to dismiss is denied on probable cause grounds. Let's hear from the defense in regard to the bond request.
Judge, we're asking for a much lower bond than the 150,000. I understand the state's position. However, he is unemployed and he has been for some time because he does have a disability status. He has priors, but none of them are violent, and the last one is from 2018, where he was actually terminated early from probation in 2020 and hasn't had any new felony offenses since then. He also doesn't have an active NVCA flag and only a level 2 on the pretrial services matrix. So given all those circumstances, including his financial situation, we'd be asking for a much lower bond.
State wish to respond?
Judge, we simply want the court to consider the danger to the community, and in particular, the named victim in this case, Mr. De Jesus Davila Araya. This was, in particular, Judge, what's concerning is that this appears to have been an unprovoked assault on the part of the defendant against the victim. It appears that the victim was simply walking to his apartment when the defendant confronted him and pointed a shotgun at him. Again, Judge, like we recently stated earlier, this is supported by the surveillance footage in the case that does show the defendant pointing a firearm at the victim, as well as the victim's statements, as well as the recovery of a shotgun case within the defendant's home. Thank you.
I see that he does have priors for weapons violations, so 150,000, November 12th, 1:30, public defender appointed. Your excuse, sir. Hello, what's your name?
Christopher Dale Tacey.
Okay, you are charged with disorderly conduct, recklessly displaying a weapon, and possession of drug paraphernalia. The state bond request is a $50,000 bond. We will hear from defense counsel.
Judge, we'd be asking for a much lower bond than the $50,000. He is unemployed and homeless. He also doesn't have an active NVCA flag. So given those factors, we'd ask you to consider a much lower bond.
We'll hear from the state.
So, Judge, a $50,000 bond is, at the very least, the appropriate bond. A larger bond could be appropriate in this case, but at the very least, 50,000 is appropriate, considering the fact that Mr. Tacey appears to have been on probation for a domestic violence offense when this happened. The instant offense includes the use of a dangerous instrument, the knife, and Mr. Tacey told the victim what he was, he made it very clear that he was threatening the victim when he said, I won't say exactly the language he used, but he did say that he was going to kill the victim. This was captured on surveillance footage, the defendant drawing the knife and the victim actually jumping back in reasonable apprehension of serious bodily injury. So the $50,000 bond is appropriate. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, we might have to continue this just because he's no longer present.
Why is he no longer present?
I have no information on that.
Well, he was present when we started this and he heard what was said, did he not?
I imagine so. I don't know.
Well, he was there at least, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I consider that he voluntarily waived his presence for the remainder of the hearing, and we're going to go ahead. Bond is set in the amount of 50,000. November 12th, 1:30, public defender appointed, and he's to contact his assigned probation officer the first working day following release from custody, and do not return to any Circle K store, no contact with the alleged victims, etc. You're excused, or he's already gone. So there's that. However, it looks like we are finished, so you are excused.
Good evening, Judge.
Ooh.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are...
Noah Allen Hovde, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we went out of sequence.
No,
No. First one. Oh, it's the first one. My bad.
Mr. Hovde, I have warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court charging with unlawful flight from law enforcement alleged to have occurred on or about July the 24th of last year.
Is there a location listed, Your Honor?
No, there is not.
Judge, I'm actually, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I actually happen to be the assigned prosecutor on this case. I do have additional information. The location is on the intersection of Ajo and Algernon.
Ajo and Algernon.
Yeah, it was about 15 months ago.
Right.
Are we pointing the PD on this? Nothing's checked. Oh. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and advise either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Your Honor, Mr. Hovde is probably being held on a close to $200,000 bond, so I would just ask the court to consider setting a $2,500 bond for time credit. Thank you.
He's held on 300.
It's $385,000.
Yeah, $400,000 in various bonds. So, yeah, keep it in the rounder numbers. We'll put this one at 5,000, which is a third of what the Superior Court judge suggested. About license, no alcohol or legal drugs. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney.
Uh-huh.
And your next court date will be Friday at 1:30.
Great. Will a discovery be sent to the jail so I can access that?
And well, it'll be sent to your attorney. You'll have to talk to your attorney about it. It doesn't get sent directly to you. It gets sent, anything gets sent to your attorney.
Great. Can you send it to Christopher Shalepi then, please?
Not unless he files a notice of appearance on this matter.
All right, I'll have him do that.
I've noticed that he's representing you on some cases. He's appearing specially on another matter, so apparently hasn't been retained on that matter yet. And he'd have to probably be retained separately on this matter, but that's between you and him.
Yep.
All right, thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Now I've got like 7 misdemeanors and then back to felony.
Maybe excuse briefly.
You may.
Thank you.
Evening, I'm Judge Fayette and you are
Angel Radar.
in jail. Do we have just Mr. Duran in the courtroom? Or do we have the rest of the misdemeanors?
That's the rest of them.
All right. I'm going to address this to everybody in the courtroom. Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette. This is the time set for initial appearances, arraignments. Time for you to be formally advised of charges against you for me to set consider release in your next court date. It is not the time to talk about facts of cases or ask that charges be dismissed. Consider release will always include that you violate no laws, that you appear at all court dates. If any of your matters are class 1 misdemeanors, it also includes that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be additional conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occur. All right, Mr. Ron, I have a warrant here out of South Tucson City Court, Municipal Court, charging you with criminal trespass, allegedly occurred on December the 19th of last year. Looks like perhaps you were supposed to be in court on August the 1st or thereabouts. I'll appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you on this because you do have an adult probation hold. Bond will be $100. Your court date will be Monday at 10 a.m. on video. you're not to go back to the incident location. And no, I can't tell you where that is because I don't have that information.
I think it's the 3020 South 6th Avenue.
Very possibly. I don't know. All right. Thank you.
And outdoor downstairs or still with males or females? I don't know. And downstairs still with females. I have no idea. Hafner.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Marshall Hafner.
Mr. Hafner.
Oh.
I'm a little concerned about your appearances in court.
What, ma'am?
A little concerned about your appearances in court, or should I say your lack thereof?
Ma'am, so the last time I went to court on video court, they said they were gonna bring all my cases together to do that like that, and so I wasn't sure why I had a warrant or not. I didn't realize I had a warrant because they said that they were gonna bring all my charges together in one courtroom so that I could get them taken care of. And I went to my last Pima County court on video, and I didn't realize that I had missed one. I didn't realize I had another one.
Well, there's multiple courts.
Yes, I understand that. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Your Honor. I apologize.
And you have to appear in all of the courts.
Okay.
And
I will.
and no court can, generally speaking, for instance, city court can't say, oh, you don't have to show up in justice court, and justice court can't say, oh, you don't have to show up in city court.
Okay.
All right, your current charges, I have charges for possession of paraphernalia. Alleged occurred earlier today. Your next court date is going to be on October the 12th at 8:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, and you need to start the process of getting a substance abuse assessment and any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And as I said, I also have charges that go back to February the 13th of 2020 for possession of paraphernalia, along with multiple failures to appear. Most recently, earlier on October the 6th. Your next court date on this is going to be December the 2nd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the Tucson City Court, that's in front of Judge Sabrina, who's usually in courtroom number 9. On the second floor, again, no alcohol or illegal drugs, substance abuse assessment and recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hafner.
All right, sir. Please stand up. Outdoor downstairs females. Your Honor, jail here. What was his was he set with a bond or?
No, he's OR'd
Thanks.
on both of them.
Thompson. And then Mr. Medellin is not choosing to talk with us, so you have to continue with.
Okay. Evening,
Hello, my name is Sean Thompson.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes,
Charges here out of Sahuarita Municipal Court.
yes.
On March the 7th of 2022, domestic violence criminal damage, domestic violence unlawful imprisonment, domestic violence preventing the use of a telephone in an emergency, domestic violence assault. Looks like you were supposed to be in court on perhaps on or about August the 22nd of this year.
Yeah.
And did not appear. We'll appoint
Yeah.
Giancarlo Dale to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Your bond is $2,499. If you post the bond, you need to appear in court. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on video. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, and you need to abide by any other previous conditions of release, including no contact or no return if that was previously ordered. You understand that?
Not really. Come again? Can you inform?
Okay, your next court date is going to be Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Your bond is $2,499.
Yeah.
If you post the bond, you'll be released. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be in custody and be seen on video, or your attorney will talk to you about it. You need to abide by any previous conditions of release in terms of contact with the victim or returning to the victim's residence. I don't have the file, so I don't know what those previous conditions were. But I'm also telling you no alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, and no firearms or weapons.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna be in here, right? And
Unless you pay bond, yes. We're gonna
yeah. Okay.
All right, sir. Out the door, downstairs. Upstairs, Mills. Alvarez, Herman. Sit right here.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Herman Alvarez, ma'am.
Mr. Alvarez.
Yes, ma'am.
Petitions here that go back to, it looks like Christmas of last year.
Yes, ma'am.
Assault, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you on these charges on certain conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol in your residence, and you need to engage in a substance abuse assessment and begin any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be months from today, the 1st of December at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court. Be sure that you're present.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez.
Thank you, ma'am.
Door downstairs. With the man.
That's it.
The white. Justin. Justin. You're up. What's your shirt? Sit down right here, sir.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are? Hmm?
Dustin DeWitt. I apologize.
Mr. DeWitt. I have citations here from July the 4th. 2 counts of criminal damage, 1 count of disorderly conduct. Looks like failure to appear in court on August the 5th. Looks like pretrial services released you on the 4th of July. You didn't appear on the 5th of August. You were then in custody a little over a month ago. And Judge Miller released you and gave you a court date of October the 22nd. And you didn't show up then.
Yes. Am I able to speak? Connor?
If you wish to, I can't stop you.
Okay, so I went into the city courts. They told me if I went in, that because I'm doing all the steps, I wouldn't need to do the 22nd one, and that I would need to go to the one on December 9th. So I didn't do that one.
Well, let me see what I can find.
I actually dismissed the one from the damages. Apologize.
The only charges that I have here from Tucson City Court, unless your name is misspelled on those on something else, is this matter. So there is no court date for December the 9th.
So they said that as long as I was pushing, I was doing the steps program and everything else,
No,
and everything.
okay. That's a felony case. That's not
Yeah.
your city court case.
Yes, that's the criminal damages, right?
This is the criminal damages. But
Yeah,
but no, you still need to show up in city court.
Yes, of course. But she told me that she dismissed those.
Let me look at something else.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, of course, I can't get into any your files that have steps, but they would not be able to dismiss those because there's victim notice and other things needed. So you still need to. You still need to show up in city court. Unless you get something in writing from city court. Not any other things. Do you understand that?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, your court date is going to be the 1st of December.
Okay.
At 2:00 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Be sure you're there. You don't have contact with the victims. Do you understand that?
Right.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Out the door, down the stairs, fill with emails. Mr. Estrada.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Good evening, I'm Malia Estrada.
Ms. Estrada, I have citations here charging you with domestic violence, criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct alleged to have occurred earlier today. And it's my understanding that the victim is present on the phone and wishes to be heard on conditions of release, not talking about facts of the cases or asking to be dismissed. That doesn't happen at this time. Just conditions of release. I can't hear you.
I understand.
No, that,
You said that you could talk. Oh, are you talking to the other person?
right.
Okay, okay.
Understood.
Okay, so Ms. Bravo, did you have something that you wanted to say?
I would just like to say that I do want contact with the defendant, also to be released home.
Okay. All right, your next court is going to be December the 2nd at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court, courtroom number 10, in front of Judge Million. No acts of domestic violence, other standard conditions about not leaving the state of Arizona without court permission and things like that. And you might want to look into at least some short-term counseling to help you deal with
Yes, Your Honor.
this. If you don't have any other resources, Transition Center right outside the jail might be able to give you some ideas.
Okay.
Or you can come to city court any Friday afternoon at 1:30. Go
Okay.
upstairs to the 6th floor. The north side of the building, there's a great big room. It's his jury assembly room, but there should be signs that say community court, and lots of different treatment agencies are there. So they could help you get set up with something at low or no cost.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Our man, up the door downstairs, 16 minutes. I see us.
Oh, that's your say. Midian is unavailable, correct?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Your Honor.
And again, do we have multiple defendants in the courtroom or?
They're coming right now, Your Honor. If you want to wait, get that. Who are you supposed to be? All right, Your Honor, they're all in here now.
All right, good evening. I'm Judge Fayette. This is the time set for initial appearances. If you have misdemeanor matters, we may do arraignments on those matters. But on felony matters, it's just initial appearances. That is the time for you to be formally advised of charges against you for immediate detention release in your next court date. And appoint counsel. It is not the time to talk about facts of cases or ask that charges be dismissed. Conditions of release will always include that you violate no laws, that you appear at all court dates, that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be additional conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occurred. All right, Mr. Casillas. An
Yes.
complaint charging you with driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs, class 1 misdemeanor, resisting arrest, aggravated assault on a first responder. These are alleged to have occurred early this morning. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard on condition?
Nothing further, Judge.
Yes, please, Judge. We are asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Casillas to pretrial services supervision. The last conviction is from 2009. Pretrial services was able to talk to Mr. Casillas' brother, who verified his time in Tucson and has volunteered to provide third-party custody and transfer to court. So given the age of the last felony conviction, Judge, we're asking for one chance on pretrial services. Thank you.
Preliminary hearing date will be November 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. You'll be under the supervision of pretrial services under some very strict conditions. In addition to the standard conditions, you are not to drive a motor vehicle. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol in your residence or vehicles. You're not to go anywhere that alcohol is served or consumed. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Substance abuse and behavioral health assessment and treatment under the direction of pretrial services. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than in the course of those assessments, I would suggest that you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney. Direction of pretrial services. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than in the course of those assessments, I would suggest that you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Lorenzo Diaz-Casales. Good evening, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz-Casales. I have a complaint charging you with aggravated driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor, possession of a firearm, and criminal damage. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Judge, I asked to be heard on probable cause on the criminal damage count. That's because although there is some evidence that Mr. Lorenzo Diaz-Casales crashed into a gate, we don't have a dollar amount on the interim complaint unless I'm missing a page 2.
It crashed through a gate. Let me take a quick look at something.
And the other thing I was going to say, Judge, is the statute cited is 13-1602B3, which requires the damage to have been done to assist a criminal street gang, and there is no indicia of criminal street gang activity.
That appears to be a typo because he was actually booked as a B at B5, which would be appropriate.
It's just it would be a 6 if the dollar value on the gate is 1,000 at least.
No, it's class 1. B5 is a class 1 misdemeanor.
Oh, okay. I was looking at 4. Okay, so it's an M1 then, as opposed to an M5.
Right.
Okay. So, Judge, as to release conditions, we acknowledge Mr. Diaz-Casales has some criminal history, although I would like to point to the court that it's relatively old, although there is some history, Judge. We're not asking the court to completely ignore that. Nonetheless, Judge, Mr. Diaz-Casales is asking the court to consider releasing him to pretrial services supervision. His girlfriend was able to verify housing and is able to provide third-party custody and transport to court. Mr. Diaz-Casales also tells me that he has a very stable job working as a concrete finisher. So, Judge, if the court's not inclined to release him without having to pay a bond, then we ask that the court consider setting a bond close to $500. That is all he can afford at this time, but we are really hoping for pretrial services. Thank you.
Given the history, although it's not a current history, and the presence of a firearm, bond will be $2,000. If the bond is posted, you will submit to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. No driving without a valid license, which you do not have.
Sure.
No firearms in your residence or vehicles. No alcohol or illegal drugs in your residence or vehicles. Substance abuse assessment treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services. Preliminary hearing date will be November the 12th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz-Castillo.
You guys.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
I'm Kelly Dugan.
Mr. Guy. Interim complaint charged with possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotics, and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Nothing further, Judge.
Judge, we agree with the state's recommendation, release to pretrial services, and if the court's inclined to follow that, we ask that the court waive time for the preliminary hearing by 45 days, which puts us to December 16th of 2025, and set a steps hearing. Thank you.
Right. What your attorney is referring to there is that you are eligible for screening to see if you are eligible to participate in a program called STEP. It's essentially a treatment program for a short period of time that's designed to meet your needs. If you successfully complete that program, then the charges will be dismissed before they're ever formally charged. So you're interested in doing that?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
All right. Then your next court date is going to be a steps hearing. That will be a week from tomorrow, Monday morning at 9 o'clock in Pima County Superior Court.
Okay.
You'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. You'll participate in monitoring treatment under their supervision, which include no alcohol or illegal drugs. You need to comply with the STEPS program. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is directed by pretrial services. No contact with your co-defendant except through legal counsel. And your preliminary hearing date right now is December the 16th at 1:30.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Guy.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Brian Gray.
Mr. Grant. Animal complaint charging you with domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence kidnapping, domestic violence impeding an airway. These are alleged to have occurred on or about the 1st of September. We'll appoint city public defender or public defender's office to represent you on these charges.
Yes.